the man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking
That's
about
what I said.
So
So
that's-
when they bullied her,
Yeah.
now, if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
people barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something.
Party.
You have to be
They can't
smart.
sit
If
down.
you see where they are dressing them up and dragging on both sides, you cannot you cannot breathe.
That's what
And these
matters.
women will stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels, and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
Igi Madonna, imagine Orero, always near Agbo, Manazo, or Igi Madonna.
You will have to serve the community for 30 years before you come to this stage. They will ordain you or your title. Then by then you are one of the elder.
This year now, we don't read the year, so that's why we can do this year.
Historically, joining the Elders' Council, an individual must have reached a certain age and must have made significant contributions to the community through leadership, service, or other meaningful ways. There was jubilation in the community as sons and daughters of Okada, both at home and in the diaspora, trooped out to be part of the ceremony with various hymns of the initiates agog with festivities. Friends and well-wishers of those initiated into the Elders' Council jubilated at the Ogwedion after performing all traditional rites. The elders, known as Edion, in company with their loved ones, danced to their various homes where guests and family members were entertained.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
Waiting.
Okay, this is now Akpakpava Road for Benin City, Edo State, South Nigeria. However, the federal government of Nigeria through the Federal Ministry of Works, they don't talk and say federal government want to dualize and construct 125 kilometer Benin Asaba Expressway. Benin Asaba Expressway. However, contractor, they don't already did the road, they work for the road. But what it can surprise landlord and landladies for this Akpakpava, they say this 125 kilometer, it go start from Ring Road for Benin City and at 10 lanes. At the time the landlord and landladies and people where they stay for this Akpakpava from this King Square, go reach Ramat Park, go see the signboard say 10 lane. However, don't forget say this Akpakpava now one of the business hub for Benin City and those states South Nigeria. That's so it's supposed to be. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, and to serve Nigeria with all my strength. That's so it's supposed to be. Citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Okay, I greet you. Good afternoon. I greet you. Citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Anywhere you there for Nigeria, you there for Edo, you there for Delta, you there for Lagos, you there for Abuja. Anywhere you there, you dey watch us for ITV, they watch us online. For Facebook, for YouTube, for TikTok. We must continue to thank everybody. However, first of all, you know say federal government of Nigeria through Federal Ministry of Works don't award contract to contractor 125 kilometers from Benin City, from the King Square for Benin City to Delta State Asaba. People can't be happy. However, the contractor, they don't they work for the express road. But you see, say we are there so now Akpakpava. I there for Akpakpava. This side, now 2 lane. After this 2 lane, you go see Central Bank. This side, now another 2 lane. After this side, you go see Post Office. But this is not the popular Akpakpava for Benin City and those states South Nigeria. This Akpakpava now hosts the Central Bank of Nigeria waiting for Benin City. This same Akpakpava now he hosts the Arosa, where the Oba, the Benin king, they watch him. This same Akpakpava now business hub, Banco, different mega hub companies, them day. But waiting can they make the landlord and landladies wait there for this Akpakpava. People will get business for this Akpakpava for Benin City. People will be say they buy property. People will be say their papa, their mama, now this Akpakpava they bury them. things don't dey happen o. Akpakpava. Wetin happen to Akpakpava? Federal government say through the Federal Ministry of Works, from Ring Road to the bridge, 10 lanes. Now that one the pepper now. From King Square, Benin City to the bridge, the contractor don't serve notice to landlord and landlady say they give them 7 days to make them take come out to say federal government don't approve and say from here to the bridge 10 lane, 5 lane, 5 lane. If here na 5 lane, here na 5 lane, let me say Central Bank go come out, NEPA house go come out, different banks go come out to Akpakpava. Akpakpava 10 lane. Drop your comments. Like and share them. Akpakpava, federal government say construction from Benin King Square to Delta State Asaba. This side 5 lane. This side 5 lane. People don't dey shout oh. Wow. I dey for Akpakpava, Benin City. But this thing go work, federal government.
Also, waiting they happen.
Oga.
Don General.
I
greet you.
Thank you.
I greet you.
Center of Akpakpava like this so.
I'm telling you.
What be this one?
This one protect our rights. Our rights. Government must help us to protect our rights. Don General.
You know here, say federal government of Nigeria through the Federal Ministry of Works don't award the construction of Benin Asaba Expressway will be 125 kilometers when people they happy.
Oh my God.
Waiting make you come out now.
Don General, that is why we are here today. See, Don General, if you are coming from the Ring Road there, you will see the signboard. One big signboard where government put for there. They say they want to dualize this road, not even dualize alone. They want to make it a super highway. In other words, it's going to be 10 lane on one side, 10 lane on this side, and 10 lane on this side. Akpakpava is already dualized. Oh.
Okay, you sure say that 10 lane this side, 10 lane this side?
That is what they call super highway. They say super highway. The General, I must show you. See, they share this paper, paste stamp on our door of all our properties on Akpakpava down to the river, Ikpoba River. They put this thing there. After some time, they say we should remove within 7 days. You go see and there. After this one, they come again, share another letter by this company, Benin Asaba Expressway Concession Company Limited. We are surprised saying that Benin Asaba Expressway Concession Company, now then they share us paper. Where is federal government? Who owns Nigeria? They have not come to tell us that something like this will happen. We are surprised to just see this one, Don General. What will they tell you now? Be say, Don General, you look at Akpakpava. Just look at it. Look at building from Ring Road down to the river, down to Ikpoba Hill, down to, and they say they want to make it super highway. What they are trying to say is that all these properties will be demolished. They told us to remove our property within 7 days. That they want to demolish or they want to create road. Don General, if that happens, all the existence of property in this place will be wiped out. You look at it now. Look at all the properties in Akpakpava. Look at it down to Ikpoba slope. And continue to look at it to Ramat and go on forward. It is very, very painful because they are serving us this kind of notice. That Akpakpava is already dualized. Akpakpava is the hub of the city. It is a center of the city, not expressway.
The governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, need to intervene, call the contractor and federal government to discuss.
Bam! Don General. That's why we are saying government should protect our rights. Because we cannot fight. It is only government that can protect us. And that's why we are saying that our governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, should rise up to the task and help us to fight and make sure that this demolition does not take place. That's what we are saying.
10 lane.
I'm telling you, Don General. That's what I'm telling you now.
It will affect business.
So, you
get us for this.
What we are saying now is that owners of properties and occupiers. We are owners in occupation in Akpakpava. So if our property is destroyed, where do we now begin to search for livelihood? You just look at Akpakpava, look at business.
It is true. Akpakpava is a street.
It's not a federal highway. All the properties here are legally. They are not illegal. So if this thing happen, the whole street will be off. There are so many bad roads in Benin. Let them face that side. Let them face that side. Everywhere in Edo State, all roads are bad.
Federal government already award Benin Asaba Expressway, and the contractor don't work for road. But this one, Papa, they say na 10 lane.
10 lane, how can it be? Where is it leading to? Where is it leading to?
You know what I mean? If they destroy now, 10 lane. They destroy now, all this market, every it go.
Central Bank
go.
Arosa.
It go.
Nepa.
It go.
That hub.
It go.
All those places.
It go.
My grandpapa house.
It go.
Then they bury my papa.
It go. They go.
What you call the talk now?
What do you want to talk? We say we don't want them.
Case they watch me. Share them. Like them. Drop your comment. Federal government don't award Benin Asaba Expressway from King Square, Benin City, 125 kilometers. But the contractor don't serve people. Wait there for Akpakpava later. Say they give them some days to park. This side 10 lane. This side 10 lane. They say it's not possible, Daddy. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Are you a property owner or you be landlord? Or you inherit house or your great-grandfather or great-grandmother? They here.
I'm an occupier.
An occupier?
Yes.
What come make you come out to the carry?
What make me come out to say?
Benin Asaba Express Concession Company.
Yes.
What did they talk?
They say make we remove our house.
See your face where?
They say make we remove our house. This is government Asaba Expressway. This Akpakpava don't do here since 1974. This street is a narrow street when I come here. Ogbemudia don't expand. After Ogbemudia come out, Oshomole come. He destroy our house, expand this Akpakpava. They make it 6 lane. From there he added walkway, which make it 8 lane. The time they do he destroy all this our house, cut them into 2. You see the gutter now is inside the major of the road. And this Benin area, it has a master plan. All this gutter we see here is taking water to Ogba River. Now, before they constructed that road, water they carry houses at Igu and other places. Now they say they want to destroy all the houses. Expand the road to 10 lane.
Okay, come and see. You now youth. You know say this Akpakpava na business hub. And if you see them, different companies they here. Now here Central Bank day. Now here different things day. You want to tell me say yeah.
Don General, we want to appeal to the government. Honestly, this is not the path to go. We are not against development, Don General. We know they against development. If they want to develop, there are so many places to start from. For example, they can start from Ikweniro down. All those places are bushes along the road. They can do even more than 10 lanes. We are happy. If they go to Ekpoma Road, the roads are bad. Let them go and fix those ones. We are happy. But inside this Benin City, this hub of the town, just look at it. Hub of the town. This is the only place there is no hold up. As you can see, cars are flowing freely. No hold up at all in Akpakpava. And the roads, if you just look at it, there is no pothole on Akpakpava. Everywhere is clear.
Oh, yes, they want to change it to mega hub, mega bumper. You know where they call it?
When you want to do super highway.
That
is where you have maybe traffic. There is heavy traffic. But when you come to Akpakpava, there's no such thing. There's no such thing. And also, all these people, they own these properties for over 1,000 years ago. Even before independence. And let me shock you, sir. All the houses are here. Majority of them have CFOs. That's what I'm telling you. Is it not the same government that issues CFO? State government issues CFO on these lands. Most of the houses here have approved plan. So how come they are just coming all of a sudden to say this is a right of way? That they need to demolish it? How come government did not know before they issue CFO and gave approval over these properties? These are some of the things.
As you watch us, drop your comments, share them, like them. We for Akpakpava.
These are some of the things you are saying.
I thank you for the time you talk to us.
Thank you.
We will make sure say government here.
Please let them hear our voice. Let them hear our cry. We are crying. Please. That we are not saying they should not do development, but let them start from Ikweniro, forward like that. Let them start from let them start that way. This place, you should leave it for us, please.
I thank you.
Thank you so much.
I thank you.
Waiting they happen.
Kola. This Akpakpava.
Yes.
Federal government, the construction company don't start
yes.
say they want to destroy the house.
Yes. Well, what's I want to Benin Asaba Road? This one is different from Akpakpava Road, though. You understand? You see this house this way, this Akpakpava Road. If you they talk of demolition first, you fair compensate them. Federal governments not compensate them. The next thing, you just can't serve the notice. Make the park come up for that. You want to render them homeless. Government is supposed to build houses. They give people. Make they just occupy the houses. Maybe free, or if they anytime they get money or monthly, they will remove them from their salary. You just want to render people homeless. Where you say make these people go? And this same Akpakpava so Oli Arosa did this Akpakpava Road. Even Central Bank of Nigeria did this Akpakpava Road. You understand? Where they want to relocate Central Bank go. Where this Oli Arosa so, you know the historical efficacy of
of Tirile now.
Yeah, Tirile.
Yeah, not Tirile.
Yes,
but they want to make a super highway, make it be 10-10.
So that one are what we even need at this juncture. Where those people, my question when I ask them, where these people want to relocate to? Government don't make provision for houses where they want to relocate to, or government don't make provision for hotels where they say they one day. You understand? Government's supposed to be with human face. You understand? Government not supposed to exhibit a very high level of despotism and tyranny and totalitarianism. We want government with human face. These people where they occupy these places, so they are created in the image and likeness of God. And they need shelter. Where you want to carry them go? Make them go inside bush, go they stay. Or make them go inside river, go they stay. Or make them go prison, go they stay. Where they want they stay. That be the question. What would they ask government? Where be the places where government provide for the way people want to relocate to? For me, make government not just think of saying they want to deface this Akpakpava Road without first and foremost making provision for them. Where Central Bank want go? You understand? Where Central Bank want go? This Oli Arosa where I first talk. We hear the historical efficacy, the history. They want to come destroy the history, the very rich cultural history of Benin Kingdom. The answer is
waiting they happen.
Certainly the best.
Omonoba Nedo Ukwakolopolo, Ewai II, Oba of Benin, stepped out majestically with loud crowd to perform the Soton rites of his late mother, Queen Mother Ioba Omoni Ikoyeme, Ioba Ewai II, who departed this world 49 years ago. Isoton is a traditional rite of the procession in memory of the departed person's spirit in Benin Kingdom. It is usually heralded by public display of the departed person's influence during their sojourn on earth. The display of a human effigy symbolizing the departed royal matriarch was preceded by the Oba of Benin, who led the procession from his palace to the Immortal Shrine at King Square in Benin City, where he offered prayers for the repose of the soul of the Queen Mother, Ioba Ewai II. After, the priest assigned to the immortal shrine offered Oba Ewai II items for Isoton on behalf of his family. However, Chok, known as Uri, represented a mixture from royal fans after ancestral spirits were invoked to bear witness and announce his arrival. On his way home, Oba Ewai paid tributes at various pilgrimage sites, including Queen Idia Tomb, the side Oba Market, where a cheerful crowd of traders abandoned their wares to catch a glimpse of the royal personage and join in the celebration.
ITV, certainly the best. TV, certainly the best.
The new Edion expressed excitement as they danced and rejoiced before the Esama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawori Benedion, who also joined in the dance. As visiting and paying of homage to various homes of senior elders continued, the initiates spent 7 days performing diverse kinds of rites as required by tradition. They were furnished with rules and regulations regarding their new office as Edion.
That I grew up in this community to the point that they have now also chosen me as an elder in this community. It's a thing of great joy. All thanks to the Esama of Benin, my people, my family, everybody, all Okada community for this great honor. I am very, very grateful.
Well, this is my brother. I'll call him my uncle because he grew up with my father. I'm so proud of him because we are doing the same rituals as the Edions of the Okada. It is our duty for us to make this place a greater place, for outsiders to come and see the goodness of God in Okada. And I'm proud of every one of us here. So shall it be to each and every one of us in Jesus' name.
Odion ma Okada zima Esama zima Dion Ebuna zima Dion Obala zima Dion Malawe Mari Esama Dion na Nimado Pom Esama Nimado Beken Esama Emana Dion Wena Esama Magbekene Osaba Obuyo Bitone Aba no get Tony Maga no diami Magame Manido Bekene Denena Ima Yafe Ima Ato Ima Agmo Arokpa Ewudori Ima Adi Awogene all the Tiagboyano Emi Magame we need just to know me afar
in Esama in our father's house in respect of our initiation to elders Edion level. As tradition demands, we are here today to come and also pay our homage to him, for him to also pray for us for long life and prosperity.
The climax after 7 days was paying of homage again to the Edion way, where he gave the initiates the full rights to function and to henceforth participate in meetings with Edion. It will go down in the history and minds of Okada community, Ovia people, Edo State, and Nigeria in general. The ambience, style, and the colorful ceremony associated with the 2025 initiation into the Edion Council of former Governor of Edo State, Chief Lucky Nosakari Benedion, his brothers Bright Ayamekwe Benedion, Honorable Charles Osenwige Benedion, Peter Osawori Benedion, Dr. Fred Osawuni Benedion, Barrister Mike Osawori Benedion, Executive Director Operations, ITV and Radio, Chief Elder Gwede Onse, Honorable Efosa Douglas Igbenedion, Ukbonwa Igbenedion, Osawe Igbenedion, Edosa Igbenedion, Dr. Daniel Omorige Igbenedion, as well as Agbong Steve Igbenedion, among other sons of Okada.
ITV, certainly the best.
viewers, welcome to Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji, and it is that program that gives you and I opportunity to talk about some of the trending issues in the country and how it affects us as citizens. So today we're going to be talking about the withdrawal of police personnel from very important personalities in the country and how it's going to be affecting us as individuals, or better still, how it's going to impact us as citizens. And then again, the debates on legalizing gun ownership. So let's go talk to some persons and hear what they have to say in regards to this topic. It is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji.
The Nigeria security architecture, I think it is a very, very wrong approach at this time. When you talk about developed countries and thinking of how police operate, the environments are not the same. First, we do not have good roads. That when you call for police in an emergency response, if it's like in the developed countries, you see police appearing within minutes. You hear of cases of assassinations in places like America. It's only a matter of days they will find the killers of those people. Those are not the situations in Nigeria. People kidnap people in their houses, people kill people on the way, they don't even know who the killers are. The only thing too that also makes some of these people not to be on the road is the simple reason that when they know that there are escorts following some VIPs and some people on the way, they know that it's possible that at some point they will see unexpected police presence. But when they now get to the point where they now say, no, they cannot go with police and then the road is free and all that, you are only inviting terror back to us. If I'm traveling on the way and I know I'm licensed to have a gun in my car, some other persons are coming, and maybe we run into hoodlums, and they know that out of these 20 cars, there's a likelihood that 15 to 16 have arms in them. That will also create that sense of security for the people that are involved. So I just think that it is, yes, the idea to say let's have police at different points is there, but the architecture and infrastructure to support such an idea, we don't have it yet. You don't have drones flying everywhere. If you are overseas, you press a button in your house, they know it is emergency. The police will come, condone of your area, and the people cannot even escape. The police right now, as they are, first, they are no vehicles, they are not well equipped. So how do you even do it? I think that the decision by Mr. President needs to be reviewed.
I see it as a right development based on this issue that the president has made concerning police should be withdrawn from notable personalities that are in our society. You discover that for the police to be able to combat insecurity, we have less police in the society. Most of all these notable personality, you just discover that one person will be having 10 police. 10 police. If one particular person is having a police, about 10 attached to him, and the common man has no security to be attached to him, he has no security to be attached to him, then what is the fate of the masses? But to my own take, with this direction, this step that the president has taken, that all police official, army and the officials should be withdrawn from notable personality is a welcome development, so that these officers will be able to go to the city, go to the street, go to the rural area to be able to combat these bandits. Because if all this caliber of men, notable personality, are be giving policemen policemen are attached to them, it will not be a wake-up development. But if they withdraw them, everyone, all hands will now be on deck to fight insurgency, to fight bandits. But when these men are secured, they will feel less concerned about the masses. I believe that with this step that the president has taken is a very good step, so that security for lives and property concerning the common man will be appreciated. On these aspects, it has advantage and it also have disadvantage. It is good for people to have self-defense against this insecurity. But the other way around, when every man is given that license to get a gun or harm himself against attack, sometimes most people will not use it for self-protection, but rather they will begin to use it for destructive activities, like going into using it to embark on armed robbery and different. If somebody offends somebody, he can just bring out his gun and do killing. That is why it will not be encouraged. But the only advantage for the government is that let them employ more hands. Let them get more securities, people, recruit them, train them, tell them what to do, the rules and the dons that will govern their security apparatus. All these things should be put in place. Then with more and being employed and well paid, I believe that with all this, they can be able to contain this insurgency and bandits in our country.
We all know that the constitutional role of the police is the protection of lives and property. And like the president has rightly stated, the protection of lives of Nigerians are very paramount. And like the VIPs are still part of the citizens that the police is constitutionally empowered to protect. But you also realize from where the president is coming from, these VIPs form more or less like less than 10% of the larger population of Nigerians. And in that light, he feels that more attention should be given to the masses, to the larger population of Nigeria who are now faced with the challenges of insecurity, while also trying to address the manpower need of the Nigerian police. So in that regard, I totally support that directives that all available manpower now should be channeled towards the protection of the majority of Nigerians outside the VIPs that took a chunk of that number. Looking at on the rights of Nigerians to own guns, I still believe that Nigeria is not yet ripe enough for such. Even in countries where they have such policies, they are trying to go back. If you see what's going on in America now, they are even trying to look at gun rights laws to see how it can be reviewed. So it's not a policy that has worked or that has been sustained in even where it is currently in force. So for Nigeria, it is not just our only gun that will solve the problem of insecurity. I can tell you, with the kind of anger, with the kind of issues we have now, if Nigerians own guns, they will be using it to settle personal scores, not even the insecurities now. So that might not really solve the problem. I think solving the problem, we need to go into community policing, volunteer security, seeing how well we can domesticate security, make security the duty of everybody, not necessarily a centralized arm of government like you have the centralized police now. So with that, I believe we can substantially bring down, if not to a barest minimum, the current challenges we have now. So it's not really whether we carry guns or not that would solve it, no.
It is a very good thing that the president is actually looking at how he can, curb security by having a lot of, security personnel on ground. But, you know, if you have to fight insecurity by creating another level of insecurity, that's a very big problem, all right? Yes, we know that the VIPs have a lot of this, you know, security escort with them. But if you look at this person too, they are human beings. And, you know, somebody who has that kind of, you know, level of position requires some level of security, you know, around him. So for me, I will not, you know, totally say that it is okay to withdraw all the, you know, security personnel from the VIP. No, I do not think that's the best way to go. Instead, I think they should look for a way to have more persons in the force, in the military, in the police, and every other security agencies that can help, you know, in this insecurity. Because the VIP are human beings. The right to own a gun, I really do not think that Nigeria is matured for such a thing. Yes, we have that in some developed countries like America, but I do not, you know, advise that such law should be put here in Nigeria, because a lot of persons are going to take advantage of this particular, you know, situation, and they use it to do other very, very, you know, malicious activities. So I do not believe that Nigeria is ripe for, you know, self-ownership of gun at this particular point in time.
Insecurity in Nigeria is eating so deep into the life and well-being of Nigerians. Like in the area of business, it has affected us a lot. Like, for example, those our mothers who travel to village markets in this season of December, where they travel to buy plantain, yams, and others. We see many of them were unable to do this because of the insecurity, and that has also affected their own family, because they will not be able to provide for them because they were unable to do their business the way it ought to be. Like those of us in the real estate sectors, I think it affected us the more, because this is one of the most funny December I've ever experienced, whereby our brothers and sisters in diaspora, they are scared to return home to celebrate with us. And after they have saved this money, and they buy property at the end of the year, so that at least they will not count on one thing that they have achieved. But this time, many of them, they give up. Instead of coming to Edo State or so or Nigeria to buy property, you will hear them saying that they want to go to places like Singapore, places like Spain. They will tell you the money they will use to buy property in Abuja, like maybe 350 million, 150 million, 200 million, is enough for them to get property in Spain. And that property in Spain will give them high return of investment than the property in Nigeria. And another thing that affected those in diaspora and the VIPs, let me use that word, very important personalities in our country, is the new law that has been passed by the president, that police personnel should be withdrawn from this set of persons. And you know, the current situation of insecurity in Nigeria, so these persons, they will not be free to come in, because it's as if them coming in, they have signed their death sentence because the security is a threat to them. And at the same time, the police personnel that would have been of assistance to them to guide them is being withdrawn. So it's just as if they want to jump into a hot fry pan. So these ones is what stopped them from not coming to Nigeria, and it affected our business a lot. So those persons we are all to care for, these things restrict us to do a lot for our loved ones. Because if you don't sell property to get money, so there's no way you are going to spend money. So if you check, though we are having traffic and all these around, but the truth is that the well-being, the lifestyle of these our citizens is being compromised, because insecurity has cost them a lot. If the guns is being legalized to every citizen, it's going to cause more havoc at this initial stage. So I believe instead of legalizing gun to individuals, let's recruit more local security personnel that understand this terrain of this environment, because a stranger will not know my community more than me. So if they empower these personnel, give them good sophisticated weapon that they can use to withstand these perpetrators, the criminals, it will be able to at least help us a lot. So owning a gun or legalizing gun to Nigerians, you know, Africans, there's a way we think. Even some of the trained policemen that they are handling weapons, we see what happens after some of them have taken what they are not supposed to take. After they get, when their adrenaline get high, when they are angry, we see how they misuse the gun. So now legalizing gun for a trained person, a civilian, is going to cause more havoc and disaster to us. So I'm not in support of that.
While the opinions of our respondent varies, and some think that the statement by the president to withdraw police personnel from VIPs in the country in order to combat crime, some are also saying that it is not a welcome development. But in all of this, the security of citizens and properties should be a priority. That is what people are clamoring for, and it is something that should be done in order for lives and property of citizens to be secured and for security to be guaranteed. It is Viewpoint on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji. Many thanks for watching.
ITV, certainly the best.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking about. That's what I said. So when they bullied her, now, if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
People barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something. Party. You have to be
they
smart.
Can't sit
if
down.
You see when they are dressing them over, dragging on both sides, you cannot breathe. And these women will stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels, and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
This is Aqua Game, a popular game in Africa played by our ancestors to entertain themselves after each day of farming. It is also relevant in our coronation in Africa. It is a sport and indeed very interesting, as every seed had a role in the game. Playtime is 45 minutes per set. There is no age limit as long as you can spin aqua seed. Ayo or aqua game, known as the game of intellectual. This game requires a lot of mathematical skills. Aqua game is played with carved wooden box containing 12 holes.
ITV, certainly the best.
This is ITV.
Certainly the best.
Up until recently, the issue of mental health wasn't getting as much attention as it is getting today. People focused more on physical health. Okay, so when someone breaks down, they say the person is sick and the person is taken to the hospital for, medical checkup or medical attention. But quite recently, I think more attention has been given to mental health. Someone once told me that, until someone hits the street and starts picking up stuff from the floor, the person is not considered to be mentally imbalanced just yet, especially in this part of the country or in this part of the world. So that's how I would like to welcome you to another amazing episode of Flipside on Independent Television, reaching you live from the city of Benin. My name is Harry Aigboje, and it's my pleasure to have you join me on this episode of the show. We have a very interesting topic before us, and it's something that has to do with safeguarding teens' mental health. Safeguarding teens' mental health. Now, mental health, like I said earlier, is something that has been getting a lot of attention lately because once the mind is in order, every other thing follows. So the mind is like the engine room of the human body. So yeah, that's basically what we're discussing today. And of course, to do this with me is a friend of the house, Abigail Ayobahi, who happens to be a teens coach and an instructor. a teens instructor. It's good to have you in the house, Abigail.
Thank you. Good afternoon, viewers. It's good to be here once again.
Yes, it's good to have you, Abigail. And of course, just like I said, mental health, it's a very key part of human existence. Yes. A lot of times, you know, I think we tend to focus more on physical health. Okay, so let's begin. What are the most common mental health challenges facing teenagers today?
All right. First of all, I would like us to understand the meaning of mental health, because I think there is this misconception. A lot of people don't really understand what mental health is all about. It's just like while I was preparing for the program, so I was discussing with my husband that the topic we are going to be having today it borders on mental health for teenagers. So then he now told me something. He said you just hear some people, young people, they will tell you, oh, I'm having mood swing, and this thing is kind of threatening my mental health. So it was like, some people don't know that that's it that they are calling mental health. Maybe it's a sign of madness, but they will just say I'm experiencing mood swing. But the thing is that there's a lot of misconception about mental health. Like what you said during your introduction, just the same way we take care of our physical body, that's the same way we should also focus and take care of our mental health. Now, what is mental health? The World Health Organization defines mental health as the state of an individual's mental well-being that enables them to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn well, work well, and contribute to their community. So just like physical health, mental health has to do with the state of your mind. And as individuals, it is very important for us to take care of our mental health, you know. Restoring our mental health, preserving our mental health is very important at all levels of life, at the individual level, at the family level, at the state, and at the community level. So it is very important for every one of us to take care of our mental health. Now, when it comes to the issue of teenagers and mental health, you know, the teenage age is a very peculiar stage. It's like a transition period from childhood to adulthood. And like what I will always say, the teenage age is likened to kind of a rough ride, because it is full of highs and lows. There are times whereby teenagers may experience mood swings coupled with the pressure from the academic work, pressure to please their parents, fitting in among their social circle. Then at that particular stage, they're also gaining new experiences, and they're also trying to find out kind of their identity is not yet fully formed. They are trying to find out who they are. Yes, they haven't figured themselves out. They are trying to find out who they are and what they want to be in life. So it is no doubt that as a result of all these complex issues, teenagers may experience mental health issues. Now, to your question, what are some of the common mental health challenges that teenagers of this generation are experiencing? I would say that one of them is anxiety disorders. Like experts says that 1 out of every 3 teenagers are likely going to experience anxiety disorder. Anxiety disorder can take different forms. You know, when you are anxious about something, it can take maybe in terms of when they're in social setting, they feel anxious or they don't feel too confident in themselves. So anxiety disorder is one of the most common forms of mental health challenge that teenagers of this generation are experiencing. Then 2, we also have depression. Depression is also another common mental health challenge. Then attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is also there. I think I might need you to throw a little light on that. Yeah. Attention deficit, most times children or teenagers who experience attention deficit hyperactivity disorder are usually easily distracted. They might find it difficult to cope in schools, and sometimes they usually have academic challenge, and because of that, they might be labeled that this child is lazy, this child is not serious, this child, is performing below the academic standard for their age. So, but the thing is that such children, they need special attention, they need special care. There's a way teachers can get them to concentrate. So such children, they are easily distracted, even when they might be kind of smart academically, but sometimes they easily forget things. They may know that thing. Sometimes you may even engage them in discussion. You realize that they are sound, but sometimes to put things into writing becomes a problem. So attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Then there is also eating disorder. Yes, eating disorder is also another common form of mental health challenge among teenagers, you know, with especially among females, with the media telling girls what they should look like, how their body should look like. Some girls may begin to kind of experience eating disorders such as anorexia, bulimia, and binge eating. Sometimes, you know, when we talk about eating disorder, some people just think it's maybe anorexia. You know, maybe the girl wants to starve herself so that she can look slim or have a kind of slimmer physique. But sometimes there are some people that eat excessively. It's just like a coping mechanism. Like recently I watched I think it was a short video clip on the internet about a particular lady who said she was abused during her formative age while she was below the age of 8. She experienced prolonged years of sexual abuse, and as a result she started eating excessively. She became a glutton. She said she had this feeling that if she becomes fat, that men will not notice her and they will not find her appealing, attractive. So she started eating to the extent that she became overweight, and it started affecting her health. So along the line she went for therapy and she was able to work on her weight. So sometimes teenagers may eat excessively just to cope with stresses and challenges. Then another one I would like to talk about is bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is also, when we talk about bipolar disorder, it's like a psychological issue whereby the person has like two contrast identities. There are times where they feel okay, there are times they are normal, and there are times where they feel aggressive. There are times where they will feel aggressive, while there are times where they will just feel normal. So such people, they require medication. It's something that it is not just something that requires treated. Yes, it requires medication. It's not just something that requires therapy alone. With therapy and medication. They were able to manage the situation. Sometimes these mental health challenges, they are underlying issues. Maybe within the family, the person was a victim of child abuse, or the person experienced a traumatic event. So that will not bring me to post-traumatic stress disorder. Even, sometimes experiencing trauma, maybe the death of a loved one, or maybe an accident. Sometimes, you know, if you've had an accident before, or maybe armed robbers came to your house, there are times that you feel triggered, even when there is no threat around your environment, especially maybe few months, even few days, few months after that experience, there are times you'll be triggered. So
due to the mental damage
so due to the trauma, sometimes some victims begin to relive that moment. It will seem as if that particular thing is happening again. Sometimes they might just wake up from their sleep, they will start shouting, somebody is there, and there's actually nobody there. So that's post-traumatic stress disorder. It can be triggered by maybe a trauma that they experienced. Even sometimes that trauma might have occurred when they were younger, but maybe as a result of the fact that they have not been able to overcome. You know, in this part of the world, it's like we don't really take mental health that serious. Like in developed countries, when somebody experiences a traumatic event, no matter how small or how young that child is, maybe when they were little, they lost their parent, or they experienced the death of a loved one, or somebody
they probably
was shot.
Experienced, you know, a violent scene.
Yes, a violent scene. Somebody was shot in their presence. You know, the parents will take that child to see a therapist so that they'll be able to kind of go through that particular process, so that at the end of the day they'll be able to maintain their sanity, so that it will not have spillover effects on them. But sometimes in this part of the world, people just expect you to get over it. They will just tell you to be strong
automatically.
Yes, there's nothing wrong in telling somebody to be strong, but sometimes you also need to sit that person down and ask them how they feel just kind of validate their feelings. Just let them, if it requires them crying. There are times, yes, venting, yes. There are times when you see some people crying and you just say, stop crying. And sometimes just let them cry. Sometimes it is very, even doctors or experts will tell you that sometimes crying, yes, is necessary. Let them just pass out that particular frustration. But sometimes when you tell them just suck it up, keep it to yourself, they begin to bottle up that feeling and it piles up. So another common mental health
Just before you get to the other one, because I can tell that you actually have a whole lot to say in that regard, but it's still flip side on independent television. We have to go on this break now. When we return, a second guest shall be joining us on the show. Please stay tuned. It's great to have you back. It's still Flipside on independent television, and we're discussing safeguarding teens' mental health. Just like I said before we went on that break, we have our second guest joining us on the show, and she is a teens coach as well, and she goes by the name of Isioma Ubede. It's good to have you in the house, Isioma.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
And it is my pleasure to have you on the show. So before we went on that break, Abigail was telling us the different ways in which, or the different challenges that teenagers, face as regards mental health. Yeah, so you can take it from there.
Okay, the last two I would like to talk about is substance abuse disorder. Substance abuse is becoming a common thing among our teenagers. Our young people, including girls, it's not just restricted to the boy child. Sometimes they use these drugs as a coping mechanism to deal with an underlying mental health challenge. You can imagine that.
So using a mental health problem to deal with a mental health
drugs,
problem.
Because they say it helps them to think straight. And at the end of the day, it also becomes
and some say it also helps them escape reality.
Yes, but the truth of the matter is that when that thing kind of fizzles out of your system, you come back to reality, and that particular thing that you're avoiding is still there. So what now?
You were trying to
escape. Yes, escape is there. What's the essence? So some teenagers may experiment with drugs and alcohol just to cope with maybe challenging situations that they are having. Sometimes it can be as a result of peer pressure. Peer pressure. Then the last one I'll mention is self-harm. The first time I heard about self-harm, I was like, how can somebody begin to inflict injury on themselves? It was one of my teenagers that she even had a friend who does that, who was she inflicts physical injury on herself. As a result. That's the thing. The thing is that it's kind of a complex situation that even the individual cannot really explain why they have that urge. But I think it comes from a place of low self-esteem, a place of they don't feel worthy, they feel worthless. So it comes from a place of like hopelessness. They can't even explain why they do that. Maybe the person has maybe was a victim of sexual abuse, and they can't really cope with reality anymore. So they begin to indulge in self-harm. Because sometimes some parents may just think they are trying to get your attention or they're attention seekers, but it's far deeper than that. It's far deeper than that.
Well, I'm hoping that we're able to dig deep into this issue of mental health for teenagers, because indeed you can already tell that it's actually a very deep situation for young people. Now, Isioma, what's your perspective to this? Mental health for teenagers. In what ways do you think teenagers struggle with maintaining their mental health?
Okay, so when it comes to the issue of mental health, I'm very glad that in recent times, a lot of awareness have been created concerning it, because in the past, they usually are pushed under the rug using religious to cover it up. Some say it's just spiritual attack. But today, there's so much awareness of it, particularly among the adults. But when it comes to the issue of teenagers, most people just term it like they're trying to be rebellious. Okay. Most just see it as a means of, they're trying to get back at their parents, at enforcing a particular law on them. But it's much more than that, because when we look at mental health, we're looking at both the person's emotional stability, we're looking at the person's ability to cope with stressful conditions, which we know are necessary part of life. We're looking at the person's ability to socialize. So it's not just the issue of, this person is just being depressed, or this person is just being psychotic in terms of symptoms. It goes a lot more than that. And with social media and a lot of information that are flying all around, people now are exposed to a lot more than we had in the time past. And so these are things that are realities that we need to talk about, that we need to create more awareness, particularly within our tertiary institutions and secondary schools.
All right. Now, before you came, Abigail talked about, how mental health, how teens' mental health is affected, by academic pressure. Could you throw more light on that?
Okay. So when it comes to the issue of academic pressure, it's actually real. And both the tutors, their teachers, the parents, the society, we have to do a lot more. Okay. We have to do a lot more. We have to create this environment that makes the child knows that even if you failed a course doesn't mean you failed in life. Even if you failed an exam, there's another opportunity to try. And who knows, it might just be God's way of directing you to something else that you might be much better at. And so when it comes to the issue of academic pressure, imagine a student that probably is in penultimate year and then fails. And it's the fear of what parents will say, what society will say, pushes this child into drugs. And ultimately, who loses? The same family, the same society. Because if someone comes to you now and is under the influence of drug and does anything, the person might actually go free because he's acting under the influence of something else. And so it's something that is much larger than what we are looking at now. But we need to create that environment that allows people to try, make mistakes, and get up.
Thank you so much, Isioma. That was a very, amazing insight that you brought to the conversation. Now, Abigail, I would like to ask this. Let's take a look at social media. In what ways does social media influence the mental health of young people, teenagers particularly? Okay.
When we talk about social media, the social space is like a double-edged sword. There are a lot of benefits that teenagers, young people can get from utilizing the social media. Teenagers can connect with their peers, they can connect with their friends, they can learn, they can improve on their academics. But the thing is that when it is not properly utilized, it becomes a problem. There's a particular survey that was carried out by the Royal Society for Mental Health in the UK. That survey said that there was a finding that teenagers who make use of social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok kind of have a higher tendency to experience body image issues, loneliness, loneliness and anxiety. And it's not just about the making use of the social media. Sometimes it is the kind of content that they are exposed to. Let's say, for instance, as a young person, you are through with your secondary school and
probably
you
gearing
came,
up
yes,
for the higher institution.
you are trying to, you are aspiring to get into the higher institution, but due to one particular reason or the other, you have not been able to further your education, maybe financial issues, or you didn't pass, the student didn't pass his or JAMB or post-UTME. And they come online, they see their friends celebrating their matriculation. It's even possible that some of them are even celebrating their graduation, convocation, and you are still yet to gain admission into higher institutions. Sometimes you feel like, you begin to feel hopeless, like, and it's even possible that these people that are celebrating online, you were even far better than them in school. Some of them were the type that teachers would say that this one will not even make it. You are the one that, and sometimes when your teachers see you, sometimes you begin to feel self-conscious. I remember,
even if they
like,
haven't said anything
yes,
negative to you.
yes, even some like most times I'm very concerned about my former students. When I see them, even in the vehicle, how are you doing? Hope you are in school now. Sometimes some of them, the way they will react, it may show that they are yet to gain admission. So sometimes maybe there will be no time for me to dig further. Okay. Sometimes it may make them feel self-conscious that my teacher just saw me and yet I've not been able to gain admission into higher institutions. So it can bring about low self-esteem. And another thing is that, one thing that most individuals don't know, even teenagers, is that people only present what they want you to see on social media. People will post when they went out to have fun, they went to the mall.
So it's more of make-believe.
Yes. So people will not tell you their struggles. Sometimes that person you wish you can be like, oh, I just wish I can be like this person. This person is living the life.
So much
this person is making it, and I'm just here. Yeah. I'm here to gain admission. I'm here to get the latest bag. I'm here to get the latest shoe. Oh, look at what this my friend is putting on. It's as if she's not a big girl or is not a big boy. Yeah. You might not even know the source of their finance. Maybe they have a rich uncle abroad, or there's somebody, a close relative that is just supporting the finance. You just think that maybe they are doing far better than you. Yeah. So social media can expose teenagers. No, when there's a study that research says that teenagers that spend more time on social media are more likely to experience loneliness, isolation, and anxiety than body image issues. Even we as adults, there are times, another thing is that it can also affect the academics, and this can also affect, because when you are not doing well academically, it will affect your mental health. Yeah. There are times that, in as much as we teachers or educators, we tell students, you are not doing well, you are weak. Some of them feel it. They may not be able to help themselves, but whenever we talk to them about it, it affects them. Some of them can even tell you that I don't really know why. That's why when Auntie Sema was talking about academic pressure is very real. And in fact, as teenagers are facing that pressure from the school, they're also facing it from the home. In fact, I even think parents are the one that even kind of mount this pressure. There are some parents that are trying to live their dream life through their children. So there are some parents, the things that they were unable to do, they are putting too much pressure. Sometimes for some teenagers, I've been in the educational system. There are some teenagers that are doing very well, but they have low self-esteem. You begin to ask yourself. I have one of my teenagers, and when she told me certain things, and she was like, her parents they think that she's not good enough. Okay. Well, I told her, I said, you are among the best. You are one of the best. She even became like, okay, she was one of the best. Like, I told her, I'm seeing so many potential in you, and all teachers can attest to the fact that this is actually who you are. How come your parents are not seeing this? Because there are some parents that lay more emphasis on the results than effort. Okay. They look at there are some parents, now this is just, students just collected their results now. You will realize that there are some parents, when that child will bring that report card, they will check through. Maybe that child is offering, that teenager is offering, let's say 12 subjects. That child had, let's say 11 A's. They want C. Some parents will not say, kudos for the 11 A's. They will ask you, why did you have that C?
For having the C.
They will ask you, okay, the person that had all A's, doesn't the person have 2 A's? They will not even take it back to, when I was your age, when I was in secondary school, I had all A's from J1 to SS3. So that pressure is real. So it can also affect. Which is probably not even true. It might not be true. So the thing is that even studies will tell you that academic pressure to meet deadlines in school is one of the reasons that teenagers give for feeling unmotivated, feeling tired, feeling anxious. And there are times we parents, we think that when we criticize, when we call them names, that will motivate them. The truth of the matter is that when you begin to criticize that child, they'll feel like, what's even the essence? They have been calling me names, so let me just begin to leave it. Let me just, if they said nothing good will come out, then why should I even try to put in effort? But by the time you begin to affirm that child, you begin to validate their feelings. I'm not trying to say that you should just leave them to themselves. No, that's not the point I'm trying to make. As you are talking to them, also draw them closer. Extremes are very wrong. Don't be too relaxed. Then don't put too much pressure. Like Auntie Isioma said, there are some people that will excel beyond or outside the academic framework, and there are some children that are late bloomers. Like, though as an educator, I used to tell my teenagers, it's like, if you're a teenager and you are still not doing well in SS1, SS2, SS3, you are the problem. You are your own problem. You can't blame your parents. For younger children in J1 and below, you can say maybe sometimes the motivation is not there. You need to put them through, assist them. But for teenagers, if you are not doing well academically, your parents are paying your school fees, you don't have any excuse to give.
All right, thank you so much, Abigail. That was quite a lot. I would like to ask you, Isioma, what are the ways that parents can identify early signs of mental health challenges in teenagers?
Okay, so the first thing I would want every parent to do is, particularly during this period of holiday, it's very glaring that a lot of demands, multiple streams of incomes requiring your time, but you need to make out time to be friends with your children. Because it's only what you actually observe that you can notice when there are changes. If you've never really had that time with the child, you won't even know when there are changes. So you need to get time to know them. This time is not you saying, bring your result, bring your notes. Just let's gist and talk. In between those gist and talk, you will get to realize what these children are facing, what their challenges are. And then secondly, something else that parents can do is, please don't be afraid to let them know where you made mistakes. It helps them.
I think that's speaking to what Abigail said a moment ago about some of these parents setting unrealistic standards for their children.
Yes, that's the word. So there are times where you know that, oh, as a parent, I also faced this, but this is what I did, or this is what I did not do, which I think you can learn from, so that you don't repeat that same mistake. That way the parent is able to help that child navigate. Because one thing about the modern parenting is that, unlike in our time where you tell them, do this, now you are guiding them, but they make the decision, so that whatsoever decision that they make, they also bear whatsoever consequences come with it, and they are motivated when they see their decisions yielding fruitful results.
Thank you so much, Isioma, for that very brilliant analysis. It's still Flipside on Independence Television. We're talking about safeguarding the mental health of teenagers. We shall be going on this break now. The program continues afterwards. Please stay tuned. Yes, welcome back. It's still Flipside on Independence Television, and we're discussing safeguarding the mental health of teenagers. Isioma, you were talking about the ways that parents can identify the early signs of mental health challenges in teenagers. So are there other ways?
Okay, so the other ways you can actually identify early signs of mental challenges in teenagers is when you see a child who previously is extroverted suddenly want to be introverted. Withdrawn. Or you notice a certain feeling of, how will I put it, a flip. Either one who is also introverted deciding to now be this extra extroverted. So, and again, another way you can notice it is when a child overly wants to cover up or wants to keep things to him or herself.
Yeah.
So, but most of these things, like I said earlier, depends on the way in which you relate with these children. That's how you can easily identify it. And many of the times, it's easier when you and these children actually have a relationship going. So, aside the fact that, oh, you provide for them, who are their friends?
Okay. And I think that's one part of the whole conversation that a lot of parents don't pay attention to.
Yes. Yeah. So who are their friends? Is there any new addition to the clique that is suddenly making this child change? Have you done some kind of background check to know? Or was there any change in the teachers, even in the classroom? Because actually, there are times when the teachers are changed in school and it affects the child's own confidence.
Okay.
Their
change of teachers.
Yes. It could actually affect their confidence level. It could actually even lead to even greater motivation for the child. So it can be either way, but the parents need to be very keen on observing these children. And when it comes to teenagers, aggression never works. It never works. Don't even try to say,
what do you make of the biblical injunction that says the rod of correction?
Okay.
It's not even aggression.
Okay. So when the Bible is talking about the rod of correction should not be far, it didn't actually tell you that it has to be a rod, like an iron rod or a physical rod.
Okay.
So there are different ways in which you can do corrections. When it comes to the younger children, if you decide to flog a bit, it's fine. But for a teenager, imagine me trying to hold an 18-year-old boy and say, you know what, today I'm going to flog you. It's possible we chatter that kid if it's been nice. Or decide to say, you know what, let's get it physical, and at the end I'll act.
True.
So that doesn't even work with teenagers. So, but at this stage, there are times where you can decide to say, you know what, let's do it like this. Have this result, have these goals that you have set for yourself. If you're able to achieve it, you get more time on your gadgets, or you are able to control the timing. But most especially, if you notice any changes and there are things you can talk to the child about, please talk to the child. But when there are things that you cannot, please seek professional counselors. They are trained to be able to manage some of those things and be able to identify some warning signs that you might not see. I'll give you an instance. So there are times that, so based on my profession, I'm a pharmacist by training.
Okay.
When people make use of drugs, there are times they are overly calm. They are not aggressive. But there are repetitive habits that make it consistent with use of drugs. So for instance, if I walk into a place and every morning, every single, at a particular time of the day, I need to make use of the restroom, could be a warning sign. But you who are not within that line might not be able to identify it.
Yes.
There are times even when children take even something as simple as Coca-Cola, but they are drugged. And you just notice this child is constantly with that bottle. If you even try to collect it, there's this little resistance. That's a warning sign. But if you are not within the field, you can't. And that's why I always tell people, there are reasons why these people are around us, so that we can provide support for such cases when you can't identify, or when you identify it, but you are not so sure.
Thank you so much, Isioma. That was a very eye-opening one. Now, Abigail, what role should schools play in promoting mental health awareness among teenagers? Schools.
Okay.
Because she made mention of the role of schools in all of this. So, what do you think schools can do to create more awareness, for teenagers to be, able to deal with their mental health challenges?
Okay. Firstly, I would like to say that one way the school, in fact, there's a lot of role that schools can play. Children, if you look at it, they spend more time in school than, because you have 3 months in a particular term. First term, second term, third term. You understand, in a session, in one session. So most times, and there are even some children from, let's say 8 a.m. to like 4 p.m. they are in school. There are times, even sometimes the children will get home before the parents. So sometimes the parents, that's why, like Auntie Isioma said, parents should spend more time, get to understand your children. But there are times, there are things that parents might not be able to pick up on, maybe at home, maybe due to the busy schedule of the parents. Then the teachers will be able to pick up on those particular issues, maybe mental health issues or emotional challenges that a particular teenager is going through. I would say that the first step or the first role that schools can play in identifying mental health challenge or kind of helping teenagers cope is for them to introduce mental health literacy to core subject, maybe like in civic education or national values. And
so you mean
yes,
based on your experience as an educationist, right?
Yes.
That hasn't yet been achieved?
It's there. It's actually there.
Okay.
It's actually there, but there's a saying that emphasis, you keep on emphasizing on something. So aside from it being in the curriculum in a particular subject, there's a way they can also introduce it to maybe another subject. There's a time the children keep hearing it, it becomes part of them. So by the time they keep on hearing things that has to do with their mental health, seeking support, talking to your loved ones or talking to your school counselor, understand? So when they are having challenges, it will give them that a kind of motivation to open up to somebody. So what schools can do is that they can kind of teach these things, maybe during assembly, maybe during, because in some schools they have what they call gender class, gender assembly, where they talk to the boys and they talk to the girls. They can introduce the topic for them. Then another thing that schools can do is for schools to train teachers, to train the educators on how to identify early and warning signs of mental health challenge in teenagers and how to kind of refer them to the appropriate authorities, because not all teachers, not all educators are equipped to handle such challenges. Like I normally tell my teenagers, I say sometimes there may be something you are going through. Just seek out a support. At least you must have a support system within your circle. Even if you don't trust anyone, there must be somebody you feel free, like your spirit aligns, agree with that person. That person might be your teacher. That person might be your Sunday school teacher, but you just feel free with this person. So
could even be an older friend.
Yes, an older friend. Yes. So schools should kind of train their teachers on how to identify the early warning signs. Sometimes you might notice that this child that used to is always participating in class is now suddenly withdrawn. Okay, I remember there was this case of an 8-year-old girl. My friend shared it with me that the girl, her parents were living abroad or something like that, her mom. So the mom had other children in Nigeria and brought her, she was born abroad, brought her down to Nigeria and said, I want you to kind of be close to your siblings. And at the end of the day, somebody started abusing her within the family that she was living with, around the age of 8. Then when this girl, they say when that girl came, she was very chubby and very outgoing. Then she entered J1. She was now in boarding school. And people within the area was like, because she's now in J1, she's now forming big girl. She started keeping to herself. She just lost it. So people just say, oh, it's as a result of the fact that she has entered secondary school. They didn't know that something was eating her up. She was facing sexual abuse and she was already having an infection. It was a teacher in the school that was, she did not, in fact, they said when they questioned that girl, she was willing to die than for her to open up about that particular thing. The teacher noticed that whenever she's sitting there in class, she doesn't sit properly. The teacher would tell her, sit properly. She would just bend her body because she was having pain. At the end of the day, when this girl was able to open up, they got her treated. And so what I'm trying to say is that sometimes teachers should be trained for them to identify the early warning signs. There are another things that the schools can do, another role schools can play is that they should kind of provide a safe space for the children to express themselves. When teenagers, one thing about teenagers is that you may think they are not sensible. Teenagers they are like you. In fact, sometimes they may be more knowledgeable than you as an adult.
Because
not
they are more exposed
to there are things. Yes, you are right. Sometimes you tell them you know nothing, but they know some things that you don't know as an adult, because maybe you know your academics, you know the bookwork, but they know streets and stuff like that. So one thing that teenagers can know if you are not a trustworthy person. So if, for instance, this teenager know that if I walk up to this teacher and tell them what I'm going through, the next day they are going to table it in the staff room, they won't walk up to you. So just imagine if the school environment is toxic and most of the teachers they talk about the student, a student shared something with you in confidence, then you decide to go and share that thing with another teacher, and the student didn't tell you that, okay, I want you to because there are times I've done that. There are times when I was in the educational sector, some teenagers would bring an issue to me. I'll tell them that this issue, I know that I can't help you, but I can refer you to somebody that I trust, that I know can help you. With their permission, I do that. If they say, okay, I just want it to be between us, I also keep it between us. So if you, as an educator, at the end of the, let's say a child confided in you about something they are struggling with, they trusted you to that extent, and you went to expose or kind of maybe, or you criticize them or you judge them about it, you are not just only, the thing is that you are also injuring that child. They will find it difficult to trust others. So it's not just about that particular incident. Furthermore, that child do not want to open up to another person, because they'll begin to view all adults like that. They will find it difficult before they'll be able to overcome that particular struggle. So another thing that schools can do is that they should look for ways on how to support teenagers that are going through mental health issues, kind of so that the issue will not escalate.
Thank you so much, Abigail. Before we go on our last break for the show, I would like to ask Isioma, what are the coping skills that teenagers, can be taught to manage stress and emotions?
Okay.
Are there practical skills that we can teach teenagers to apply whenever they're faced with such mental health challenges? Quickly.
Okay, so some of the coping skills that they can use is one that has to do with relaxation. Everywhere is so tense. In schools, I marvel when people tell me that they have like 8 hours classes in like secondary school and there are no breaks. And even during the breaks are such that you are still within the same pressurized environment. So one of the
change of environment.
Yes. So one of the things that they can do is to introduce things like sports. Back into schools.
Leisure.
Yes, leisure, where the children can actually relax. And also, they could actually create materials that these children can actually read, because knowledge is power. So many of the times what we see is we focus so much on the academics without providing that practical environment where they can actually see this thing work. Even having peer groups of friends where you can actually get, like, it works. There are times where we want to introduce an intervention and then we just mentor a particular teenager, send that one into a group, and that one mentors their fellow teenagers. It's easier when they are talking to themselves than when there's an adult who is. So there are times, even when I want to hold discussions with teenagers, I'll just tell them, forget the anti-part, all of us, we 9 day here, and then there's no judgment and anything like that, so they are able to cope. Then finally, when it comes to the issue of coping, it's something that you practice step by step. It doesn't come once. So what one person can take is different from what another person can tolerate. Well, but you celebrate your wins little by little as you go along.
Celebrate your wins little by little as you go along. Life is step by step. Well, it's still Flipside on Independent Television, and we shall be going on this very last break. Yeah, welcome back. It's still Flipside on Independent Television. This is the final lap of the program, and this is the point where you get to advise parents, adults out there who have teenagers that are dealing with mental health challenges. So, Isioma, let me begin with you. What's your final word, and what's your advice for such people?
So, if you have one, whether close to you, your neighbor, friend, who is having mental health challenges, just know that it's just like any other challenge that can come.
Okay.
It's very critical that you get help early, so that it doesn't actually make the person lose a lot of time in life. One, it's very important that you create a healthy support system, because when it comes to anything mental, more than the medicines, more than whatsoever any professional can tell you, a healthy support system helps every
When you say healthy support system, you mean
the parents,
personnel,
the people around them.
Okay.
Not create. There are times when they just put this person aside. No, this one is a forgotten case. No, create the environment and help them thrive. Like I said, celebrate their wins. When they make little progress, let them see that they are making progress.
And reward them too.
And then also, if you really want us to deal with this issue of mental health challenges, we must break stigma. We must break stigma. It's okay for a child to have lost a year because he had 1 or 2 challenges, but that's not enough to mark that child as a child who has mental illness, and for the rest of the life, the child is tolling along that line because of that single episode. We must break the stigma. It starts with me, it starts with the school, it starts with the churches, it starts with the parents also. So everybody must work together to ensure that, irrespective of whatsoever challenge any child has when it has to do with their mental health, we must break that stigma and know that they are part of the society and help help them to integrate, even if it's substance abuse. There are a lot of people that have been into substance abuse, but right now they are championing the things that the interventions that has to do with fighting against drug abuse. If those persons have been put aside, what now happens? But we need to break that stigma. Thank you.
We need to break the stigma. Now, Abigail, what's your final word of advice for parents, that have teenagers going through challenges of mental health? In less than a minute, if possible.
Okay, less than a minute. Okay, the advice I'll give to parents is that parents should spend more time. Spending time with your children, your teenagers cannot be overemphasized. When they get to that particular stage, some parents just feel, oh, they can do this by themselves, so we should spend time with them. Sometimes they might not even want to talk. Your teenager, when they were younger, you see that they will ask you multiple questions. In fact, when they see that you are busy, that's the time they want to come and disturb you. But you just suddenly realize that now that they are not teenagers, 13, 14, 15, they will just come back from school, drop their bag. They might not even ask. They will just enter their room, eat the food, they will just close the door. But in as much as they may keep to themselves, because teenagers are known to be kind of secretive. The thing is that even if they keep to themselves, you should try to also draw them closer. Deep down, they want you to make the move. So validate their feelings. There are times they will discuss certain things with you. It doesn't mean that you will just begin to criticize them, you just begin to yell, or you just begin to oppose their view. Sometimes hear their view, then in a kind of, subtle way, there's a way you can tell them, okay, this thing shouldn't be like this. I feel it is far better if it is like this, or if it is done in this particular way. Validate their feelings, listen to them. Listening is very important. I think that's where a lot of us parents or even adults that have teenagers around us will miss it. Listening is a skill. Learn to listen. A lot of us, we talk, and we don't even listen. And when a teenager notices that you are not paying attention to what they are saying at that particular crucial stage, they will just begin to, in fact, they may even seek the wrong person to get advice or motivation from. So we should learn to listen. Then we should also counsel them in a way that is not judgmental. We should kind of adopt a non-judgmental approach, validate their feelings, affirm them, get to know their love language, spend time with them. Sometimes just drop the phone, just interact with them. So it's very important for us to do that.
Thank you so much, ladies, for your very brilliant analysis. It's been such an amazing and interesting conversation so far, safeguarding teens' mental health. I'm hoping that the parents and adults out there have learned so much from what you guys have said so far. I have learned a whole lot, and I'm hoping that, just like they say, talk is cheap. We've done the talking. We hope that they're able to put to practice everything that has been said so far. Big thank you once again for being on the show with me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'm hoping that next time you'll be able to do me the honor again of being with me on the show. All right, it's been Flipside on Independent Television, and we've been talking about safeguarding the mental health of teenagers. Well, just like I said in opening, the mind is the engine room of the body. So if you can't safeguard it, then it's only a matter of time before the body, follows suit. So it's very important that we safeguard our mental health, not just the mental health of teenagers, even as adults. Okay, it cuts across. Let's safeguard our mental health. My name is Harry Igboje, and until I come your way again, same time, same station next week, do the right thing, stay out of trouble, and bye for now.
ITV.
ITV, certainly the best.
The man went out to bring in thugs to come and beat her.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, do you think women would have seen that and still want to speak?
Really, we're talking
That's
about
what I said. So
that's-
when they bullied her,
Yeah.
if she's not bold enough, she will shut up.
What is your advice for girls out there that are so desperate to be married?
We women, we have to be really intentional about our parenting.
If you know a child is being abused, or you see signs, a bruise or a child, it has to be investigated.
people barely even breathe when they are going for a shrebi and something.
Party.
You have to be
They can't
smart.
sit
If
down.
you see where they are dressing them up and dragging on both sides, you cannot you cannot breathe.
That's what
And these
matters.
women will stay in those events for hours just to keep up with that beauty trend.
Is that healthy?
That's not healthy.
I am Patricia Uremu Gabriels, and we're reaching you live from our Lagos Network studio. Of course, Women in Conversation is a program designed for women to discuss about themselves.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain, which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.